Describe it with a verb and an adjective.
Well, I think the verb would have to be welcoming. I've had such a warm welcome from the Vietnamese people in all the contexts that I've met. And the adjective would be dynamic. It's such an exciting time to be here in Vietnam with such growth and innovation, and it's great to be here in Ho Chi Minh and see the real lively atmosphere here.
Best thing about Vietnam and worst thing?
I have to say I love Vietnamese food, so that would probably be my favourite thing about Vietnam. I am here with my family and 2 small children, and we've all really enjoyed the Vietnamese cuisine. I think coming from New Zealand, where we have a very clean, green environment, pollution is probably the thing that I struggle with the most.
Do you have any cultural shock when you first came here?
I have been to Vietnam a number of occasions, so I was aware of what I was moving to. I think Vietnam is very different from New Zealand, but that's part of the excitement. So I haven't felt culture shock, but there's so much more I want to learn about Vietnam.
What Vietnamese food have you tried, and which one do you like best?
Well, there's so much great Vietnamese food. Of course, in Hanoi there's great bún chả. There's so much great fresh spring rolls. But what I have yet to fully understand is the regional differences. So I am happy to be down here in Ho Chi Minh, but looking forward to travelling the country and seeing the different cuisine in the different areas.
How many provinces or cities in Vietnam have you visited?
Well, since I took up my role only a few months ago, I have visited Da Nang and Ho Chi Minh. As a tourist 14 years ago, I did have the opportunity to visit more of this beautiful country, but there's lots more to explore. So as I mentioned, I'm really looking forward to seeing more of the country.
The difference between Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City?
Well, I have to say I love living in Hanoi, but when I took off from Hanoi it was grey and raining, and when I landed in Ho Chi Minh it was sunny and blue sky, so there are clearly some differences. I really enjoy both. Certainly in Hanoi, the old quarter, the lakes, a very charming part of Hanoi, but here in Ho Chi Minh I enjoy the liveliness, the sense of vitality that this city has.
How's the traffic jam in Vietnam treating you?
Well, certainly I think transport is one of the areas, transport and infrastructure are some of the areas that Vietnam is grappling with at the moment. I have had a previous posting in India and China, so I have certainly seen some of the region's bad traffic before. I hope to see that there's more public transport infrastructure developed in Vietnam in my time here.
Do you have any difficulty walking on the sidewalk here? If there's any way to help that?
Well, certainly that is a challenge as a pedestrian. Again, in New Zealand, the kind of environment we have is a very pedestrian-friendly and bicycle-friendly environment for walking around and enjoying the outdoors. So Vietnam is a bit different, and I do find it challenging as a pedestrian to walk around.
What is the best means of transport here?
Well, I have to confess I haven't yet been brave enough to get on a motorcycle, but of course that's a large mode of transport for a number of citizens. I think for me, I prefer being in a car, but I can certainly see that there's a lot of efficiency for being able to dart around in a motorbike. But as I mentioned before, I'm really pleased to see that there is increasing investment in public transport infrastructure. I think that's an important part of Vietnam's future.
Your first Vietnamese sentence besides Xin Chào?
Well, I arrived for my first Tet, so Chúc mừng năm mới was my first sentence, and one I was certainly using regularly. It was great to experience my first Tet here in Vietnam.
Vietnamese coffee or Starbucks?
Oh, Vietnamese coffee. I'm a big fan of dark, strong coffee, so certainly for me, I'm really enjoying the coffee culture here in Vietnam.
You miss any New Zealand food at all? Yeah, in Vietnam.
Well, I'm lucky enough to be able to find some good quality New Zealand food and wine here, which is great. I'd like to see more delicious New Zealand food and wine on the menus. Here at the Caravel, I know they have green-lipped mussels, which is one of my favourite. But certainly I think the kind of fresh, healthy New Zealand products that we really place high value on, I think are a good complement to the way that Vietnamese cuisine is treated, which is a lot of freshness in the ingredients.
Do you have any message to our Zing readers about, I mean, either the bilateral relations or the APEC or...
Well, certainly what I would love to see in my term is more Vietnamese coming to see for themselves the beautiful scenery of New Zealand. We now have direct flights between Ho Chi Minh City and Auckland on a seasonal basis. I am a strong believer in people-to-people links being the foundation of a good relationship, and I think these direct air links are a good way to bridge our two countries. I also want to see more Vietnamese coming to study in New Zealand and experiencing the high quality and innovative education offering that we have.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.